Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're at the hunt again. I'm working on adding more props and kind of trying to wrap up our psych room here with all the stuff that we have here at least. There's a few things that we got to buy or find or whatever to wrap this room up, but for the most part it's pretty close to done. So I've spent a few hours in here now. I brought our skeleton over. Very creepy looking, hanging up like that. And then I took the rest of his bones and made these little kind of like hanging trophy kind of voodoo looking shit all over the place. That's kind of one I made. Some more over there. And I also bought this jar. I don't remember where, but I just ran outside and got some dirt, and this will be a jar of grave dirt. And then I bought this container from Hobby Lobby, and I had a skull, so I just hot glued it in there. But now that and this are too clean looking, so I'm going to take this stuff, amber shellac, and I'm going to use that to make it look nasty. So let me open this up. Alright, here we go. Our shellac is open. So if you've ever watched any videos from The Darkness, or if you've ever been there and you look around, they use this stuff like religiously. They use it on all kinds of stuff to just give it a nasty, kind of a grimy look. You can see why. It's very clear, so it doesn't hide what's inside, but it just gives this bottle a disgusting look. And I only dipped it once, and I'm just kind of rubbing it all over, getting it all over this, so it just looks older and nastier. And I can bring this on, anything I want. Let's take this stuff over to here. For the cat skull. Again, I'm just putting it on there. It's going to run down. I'm going to paint it on. Yeah, they use this stuff for everything. You can use this like I am. You can use it on costumes. You can use it to make, if you've got like a bunch of trays of body parts and stuff, you can actually use this and pour it on there, and when it dries it will harden and kind of keep all your stuff in place. It's a very, very cool thing. So yeah, that's done. And now let's see what else I'm going to work on. Alright, so here is a tip. I painted it on there, and right as it was drying, I grabbed a paper towel and I came over and I wiped it down, and I got this great looking chunky nastiness all over it. It kind of peeled it, but it stayed kind of liquid, and it just looks great. Like there's something on there, some kind of old nasty aging that you just don't want to touch. So yeah, real cool. Alright, so we've got our curtains hung up in every corner. Very nice. And we also added some flowers and some moss in this flower pot with a little bit of heat gun and some spray paint. We got them looking all wilted and old and like they're dying. We've even got a fallen petal in the bottom, like it's all dying. So yeah, pretty sweet. I think it's time to move out of this room and move on to something else. Alright, I came over here and I hung up these vines up here in the roof of the trick-or-treater room to add some more kind of Halloween-y look and some foliage to it. Yeah. See, and then I just went with my brother and Nathan, and we drew out a bunch of sketches of what else needs to be built, because here in about 11 days I start law school, and I won't be here that much. So job isn't done, so the job has to keep going while I'm not here. So we had a meeting last night with all of our managers where I basically explained that to everybody, that we're gonna need their help. So yeah, but let's see what else we're doing today. Alright guys, new day up here again. So I've been here a bit. so far I am working on cleaning up this room. I cleaned out all of like our tools and shit. This is really just the stuff I have left to clean up, but I'm taking a chunk of fabric that I removed from the back of our curtain, and I'm gonna hang it up across here to hide our actor in there when he doesn't want to be seen. I also came and I made these labels for all of our stuff, just kind of making up, you know, where they came from in the year. So these two. Charlie. So yeah, I'm gonna hang that up, clean that up, clean this room up, try and make it look presentable. This room's pretty much done. Yeah, here we go. Alright, so I've got up a curtain there and I built a ladder in back of it. We gotta have a spring on this so it stays closed until we want it open. But this room is pretty much done. I mean, it's just a few things left. Like, we need a few more of our tape holders under here, a bunch of papers and stuff that we'll have to make over there, close that door and have a door on here. Other than that, this room's pretty done. We gotta hang our projector and do a few things in there, but this room's fucking sweet. So, and once it's like October and all the Halloween stuff is out, I'll buy a few more skulls for up here and right here. So yeah, pretty sweet room. So I'm moving on now to boiler room. I'm gonna build a wall top up here, and then I'm gonna paint that and nail it in, because right now that wall is free because I gotta paint it before I nail it in because of our pipes right here. It's going right there, and I won't be able to add paint because of our pipes. So I'm gonna build that, I'm gonna skin it, I'm gonna move that back, I'm gonna paint that wall, and I'm gonna nail it in over there and over here. So it's done, and then I'll start moving around this room, seeing what else I can do. Here we go. Alright guys, so hours later, this wall is all built and painted. I had to go to a wedding midway in our day, and I got back, and that's pretty much all I knocked out. But we came up with a new idea. This is no longer a boiler. This is now going to be an elevator wall. So it's gonna look real cool when it's done. I actually have all the stuff we need to make it. So hopefully I can start working on that tomorrow. So yeah. Alright guys, we're up here again. We've been up here for a while. Sorry, I had to clean the lens. I've been working in the boiler room all day. I'll show you what we are doing. So far you can see right behind me. We've put up one pipe so far off of our boiler or our tank, whatever it is, running across here to the wall. There'll be two more. So this one's kind of at an angle that way. We're gonna have one more that's gonna run straight across, and then one more that's gonna run that way, so that they're walking under something. This one, these two will be kind of lower, so they have to kind of duck under them. It's gonna be pretty cool. And then we framed in our elevator doors and have up our plywoods here that will act as our actual door. So once we add all of our details and shit, we've got this wall nailed up, which is the one I painted yesterday. We just need to do something here and paint that, some kind of plywood skin. And Glenn and Joe and everyone else has been working elsewhere in the haunted house all day, so I'll check on them here in a bit. I just cut my fucking finger open, it hurts. But yeah, we're gonna hang up the rest of these pipes, and we're just kind of keep moving along our boiler room, doing whatever we have to do. So we got this, we added a wall here, so we can add a roof on our actor hallway there, so it's hidden. And then yeah, this room's pretty close to done. We just have to add our tin up there, and so right here, there, and then on that small piece over there, and then it's done. We got to put plywood up here and paint that wall, but I'll paint everything all at once because I'm painting all of these walls and our deck and everything all like the same color. So it's like well, it's that color. So yeah, that will be all over here. Once that's done, we'll put our pipes here again. So that's up. Yeah, we'll just keep working. All right, guys. So we got our pipes up here wrapping around our corner and ending right there before our handrail. That job was way harder than it had to fucking be. We got this box built to hide our actor hallway. We have a door here and a hallway in back, so I'll paint this all to look like a part of our boiler and stuff. Right now we're working on putting a few details on this elevator. So I've got this left over from the church window. I didn't know how I was going to use it. Now I do. I'm going to use this as kind of a decorated cover on our elevator top up there. So we've got this really crappy hold on. We have this really crappy elevator top from out of Spirit from a few years ago when they had them there. And it just has a bunch of numbers and a dial, and it just kind of goes back and forth. We're gonna repaint it, and I'm gonna place that on our face. I'm gonna trace it inside, chop that out, and then we'll be able to put that in back of it and repaint it with the proper numbers and stuff so it lines up with that, and it's gonna look real cool once it's all done. So yeah, and it has lights and stuff. It's gonna look badass. So I'm gonna start that right now. I'm gonna hang that, I'm gonna trace it, and I'm gonna get the jigsaw to chop it out. Here we go. All right, my hole is chopped out. I'm gonna grab a sander and just clean up this edge so it looks nice inside of that frame. I'm gonna tack that up here, and then this wall will be ready to paint. All right, guys, so I've got this Rust-Oleum hammered metal color. It's like a bronze. Yeah, the only way to tell is really by the lid. It doesn't say on here anyway, but it's like a hammered bronze. And you can see, I don't know how it works, but it puts a hammered texture on this one, whatever you spray it on. So this is a wood frame. I showed you it earlier, and now it's got the look of hammered bronze. Once it dries, I'm gonna paint it with a bit of teal. I also did these brackets, and it's cool because it gives you a bronze look, but it also sprays like a bit of silver. It's kind of weird, so it makes it like it's like instant distressing. But I'm gonna use a bit of teal. If you know anything about how metals rust and stuff, just like the Statue of Liberty, which is all bronze, it would turn kind of a green. So I'm going to use that on here, just kind of a dry brush on all of our edges, and then that will go over up here. So I took our Halloween thing, that is just a cardboard back. I put a layer of spray paint over it just to hide everything that was on it because it looked real cheesy and crappy, but I taped over our LED strip. It's right here. So once I have this over it, it looks real clean and it hides everything. It looks fucking perfect. Our lights will illuminate our numbers, which I'll buy from a hardware store tomorrow. It's gonna look fucking awesome, so I can't wait. All right, guys, new day. I'm up here at Menards. I'm gonna get some stuff to knock out the boiler room and some other stuff to wrap up a few other rooms that we have left. Alright, guys, so a question for all of you viewers. My tripod is broken. I explained that a while back when we were working in the clown room. So that's why there haven't been like any time lapses where the camera's just off and you're kind of watching us work in a room. And using the GoPro works, but the problem is I have to charge it, and I can only use it like once a day or once a vlog, because I have to take it home and take off all that footage, because whenever I do that, those time lapses that might last like a few minutes in our vlog are hours of footage that I've had that on. I speed it up so fast, that's why it's just flying around, but it's hours of stuff and I'm recording the whole thing. So My plan is, like I said, my other camera, it is dead. It won't work, so I have to buy a new one of those when I get a bit of money. I also need to buy a new tripod, so I want to start to do more of those time lapses again, where the camera's just off in a corner or whatever, watching us work in a room. I can also hook up our GoPro on that, and then record for hours on that. So if you've been watching recently, you'll notice that a lot of the video is me just showing you like what we did, because I can't record while I'm working, otherwise I won't get any stuff done. So I'm curious, what do you guys like? Do you guys like more like when there's a lot of time lapses and I show you how I'm doing it and stuff like that? Or, and if you do you like it more where I have a GoPro on, or when it's in our room and it has it shows like all of us in a room? Let me know what you guys think. Do you not even like our time lapses and you just want like updates like it has been? Let me know what you guys think. I'm really curious. Yeah. Alright guys, so the light's kind of fucking up, but here is the cover plate for the elevator dial. I got our numbers today, so hanging those up. Here is our button plate, and then here is our buttons, so it'll go kind of like this. It'll slide in like this, and that'll be picked up. It's gonna look like that, or up and down. Pretty awesome. For the elevator. In the boiler room, right now I'm gonna go and I'm gonna grab the dial thing. I'm gonna put the numbers on it, and that will be done, and I'll be ready to paint that wall. I actually have to put mud on it, so let's walk over here. So I got drywall mud. So right now our dial up there is just kind of pressed in there. It fits really tight, so we don't have to add any screws or anything, but I'm gonna take it out. I'm gonna add our numbers around it, so that's done. And then you can see here where our holes are, where our lights or our bottles, our buttons, whatever you want to call them, will slide in there, and then we'll run LEDs in back so they light up. So those will have light, that'll have light. So yeah, I'm gonna take that out, add our numbers, and then I'm gonna put mud around all of this, and probably mud over all these knots and shit in here to hide those. Once that dries, I'll paint all of this, and then kind of our last touches will be kind of reapplying like our switch thing and our lights and stuff up top. So yeah, here we go. That's my project for right now. Also, after we used that spray paint, we brought the rest of it in here and sprayed our pipe down. So I like how it looks. It's got a cool kind of a texture to it. I need to come up with something to make, like, I think I'm gonna use like a leather strap to wrap around it, and then I'll glue a bunch of dowel heads on that, like as rivets, and then we can use our teals and stuff on those, because on these I'm pretty sure like the pipe here, like it might have like a few spots where it's oxidized, but generally you'll have it like on joints and stuff like that. So all of these pipes will also be all copper and look all rusty and gross. It's gonna be awesome. All right, the elevator is mudded up. Once it dries, I'll sand it and I'll paint it so it looks like concrete out here, and like our metal doors on here. It's gonna look real cool once it's done. I'll use a palm sander right there and just go over the whole thing, kind of knock down a lot of the heavier edges, and just make it look like a chunky kind of a concrete, just not with all the Right now, if it dries, you could tell that it's mud that we just kind of troweled on. But once it dries and I sand it, it'll be all good. I have Nathan and Tyler hanging our plywood on here to close that up, and then they'll be hanging our tin up here and on these two parts right here. So this room's getting close to done, guys. You're fine. All right, guys, so you can kind of see it on here. While this mud was still wet, I came with our scraper or trowel, whatever you want to call it. I made these cracks in it. It's supposed to look like it's concrete, so concrete cracks, just like you would add in foam. I just kind of traced them in there. As mud dries, it shrinks, so as it shrinks, those cracks will become more kind of prominent, and it might make some other ones too. So after I paint this, I'll come back with like a black airbrush maybe, and I'll airbrush all of our cracks so that they kind of pop. Yeah. Alright guys, so I am making these flanges to put on this pipe just to make it look a little more kind of broken up and add some extra detail in here. All this is that pipe, the same pipe, chopped into about 1.5 inch, maybe 2 inch wide pieces. We've chopped a slit in one end, right there, and then I'm gonna take a heat gun and heat right here, right across from our slit, and then it's gonna look like that. And then I open it up and I wrap it around. So I'll heat this, and then I'll show you when I wrap it around. All right, so our pipe is heated up. I'm gonna open it up and just wrap it. Sorry, it's gonna be kind of tough. Just wrap it around that pipe. I just clamped it on there. You can see it was like that. I'm just gonna press it on around our pipe like that, and you're good to go. So I'm gonna do one more over there, and then we're ready to go. All right, so here's our flanges after I added our rivets and hit them with our spray paint. Alright guys, so next morning I had a fan up on this all night. It's finally dry, and you can kind of see where like it's gotten a lot more, like a bunch of cracks in it, and that's fine because it's a concrete wall, so it's gonna look alright if it has a lot of cracks in it. So now I'm gonna hook up our palm sander, and I'm just gonna start to knock down a lot of these hard edges that look like a drywall mud. It doesn't look like concrete, and I want it to look like concrete. So I'm gonna knock down a lot of that so I just get kind of a smoother kind of wall. Yeah, and then we're gonna start hitting it with some paint. I've got on my dust mask. This is what these things are actually made for. So yeah, here we go. Alright guys, I'm making these our copper pipes look rusty with our blue, since it is copper, and this is how copper rusts. So yeah, I'll show you how to do it. I've got our paint right here, just a bit on our brush. I'm just kind of dry brushing. It's not really dry brushing, but it's not crazy wet either. I'm just putting a bit on our bolts. I've got a paper towel in my other hand, and then when I get a section done, I'm going to take the paper towel and just kind of dab at it and break up any strong globs and kind of smush it down and blend it all so it looks natural. And I also have a bunch of paint on here, so I take it and I kind of run it out on the pipe so it blends into the copper. It's not just a stopping point of blue. So I'm going to knock out the rest of these, and I'll show you when I'm done. Alright guys, so here's what I did. This whole wall is all painted up. That wall over there, all painted. This wall, all painted. I gotta hit our doors with our blue, and then once it dries, I'll add our dial and our buttons, and I'll start distressing this wall. These pipes are done. I hit them with our blue, and then I came back with some black spray paint and went all over them, and they look great. They look like really old fucking copper pipes with rust around its joints, which is exactly what I was looking for. So that's done. I also hit this wall here, so yep, keep working. Alright guys, so we got a bit more work done here in our boiler room. We got this half wall kind of built. The idea is I'm gonna run pipes off of here up to here, and then an actor will have a scare out of that scare hole. Our grate is done. We have a piece of plywood on it right now because I'm gonna paint in here, and we don't want any paint on our mirror. Here's the elevator after it got all painted and stuff. Looks real nice. Rusty, dirty, old, looking good. I hung that thing up on the wall. We've got this exploding pole that you can walk up here, dude. It's cool. This exploding pole thing, we got it from Sinister Signs. We're gonna raise it up and it'll kind of hang up here, and then I have a barrel there, Q here, just some props on the floor. We hung our other grate up top, like there's kind of another walkway up there. And I've just got a bunch of props that I'm gonna add on our walls, a lot of electrical lines and stuff like that. So yeah, and now I'm about to hit this whole deck with some paint. Alright, so I'm about to head out here for the night, but I want to show you what we knocked out today. Me and Jacob and Corey knocked out all the framing in this room, so all of these, except for this corner one, which is a bookshelf, the rest of these are all cage, and they'll have like chunks of skin hanging on them, all kinds of stuff like that. You've got a scare that happened over there, and then that actor will run in that scare box. You've got the stage right here where we'll have a wheelchair here and our doctor operating on him, and then they have to walk around. Scare box here, actor in there all harassing the audience, and I'm building a pocket door that'll slide out right here across and block them from walking that way so that our doctor can harass them right here. So yeah, that happened. And then over here is the boiler room with our stage all painted. That's all painted. Our pipes here are painted. This whole deck is all painted except for a few places like our handrail there. I didn't paint that because I didn't want to spray a bunch of paint on our boiler, so I'll have someone come in here and hand paint it. We've got a few barrels, hoses, elevators there. That thing, like I said, will raise up. This is cool if I can find some kind of a body or a bunch of body parts or anything like that to stick in there. I think I actually have something that Eric made to stick in there. That'll be cool. I built a shelf right here, me and Corey. We built that, and then I have a hose there now. I need to actually paint this, but then I'll add all kinds of like lots of cans and other tools and shit up there. Just more stuff for them to look at. I'll probably put some kind of a light hanging under here, like it was lighting up the workbench, since that's there, and it'll kind of cast a lot of shadows there. So yeah, lots got done in here. We hung that up top. Lots of stuff happening here. It feels very awesome now that all this is painted. We have props in here. It's very closing in the open space. And tomorrow, now that I have this all painted, tomorrow I'll have someone else hit the rest of our handrail, and I'll start adding props up like on our walls. I'm gonna put a lot of like a lot of conduit and stuff on here, electrical shit that's gonna run that way and basically all around the room. I'm gonna try and find a box fan that I want to mount somewhere on that wall, like up here. Just have it kind of on and spinning. Any signs or anything I find around here, I'm gonna hang in here. We've got all that rebar stuff. I think I might just run it across our walls as some kind of a, I don't know, something hanging out. So yeah, that's done. I need to kind of rearrange our wires there so they look more realistic. Yeah, then let me show you what else. We got our crate built in our roach room, which tomorrow I'll add all of our trim and make it look like a crate, and then I'll paint it. And then we got this wall up in here, which this side is our photo booth. You can see the windows, we framed them all in and stuff. And here's the back side, so like our light and stuff that's happening in here will will flow through into our photo booth, and then they started framing in our walls up top to extend our rules room up as well. So yeah, we've got stuff and framed in the rest of our walls in here. They're just right here, so we just have to nail them up there. Hopefully have that done tomorrow. Have a very productive day tomorrow. So anyway, that's gonna be it for this vlog, guys. I know it's been a lot of days. Stuff's just been dragging, but we're in the last kind of stretch here of our build. We opened in about a month and a half, so we got to have it all done. We need to have it actually all done in a month, which is when we'll have like in-house training and actors will be here to act. So we got to build all our doors. We got to start cranking out lighting within a month and a week, shit like that. So yeah, anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you leave any comments. Let me know that you were here. Let me know what you thought. If you have any questions, Jay Crispy. Let me show you this real quick. All right, so as requested, here is our audio rack for our haunt. Pretty much each of these right here is a I can't remember what it's called, but it is a Scarlett 18i 20 and Focusrite, and it is a I can't remember what the word is, but pretty much it's an audio head. It has a bunch of channels. We also use this, which is another audio head, and basically each one of these has a channel that we hook up. All of those, each of these runs into our Scarlett, our audio interface, which is what that's called. We have one cord that runs out of there, out of our back, all that wiring stuff, and into my laptop, where I have open, I have a Focusrite program, which I have routing to a digital audio workspace program. It's called Reaper, and I create all of our audio files. I load it on that, and then from there I mix all of our volumes and stuff, and I route it to the proper channels which correspond to the areas of our haunted house. It sounds very technical. It's my dad, who's our owner, he worked in as a DJ and audio tech for all kinds of rock bands and stuff for a long time, so he knows all about it. That's why he runs all of our lights and all of our audio, because he did it as a job for a long ass time. But yeah, it's the best way I know of to run our audio. We used to use a lot of iPods and stuff like that, and it's just a pain in the ass having to make sure all of them are charged and shit like that. It's just not good. With this, I hit play and the audio's on, and that's it. If I think something's too loud, we walk through and we check, is it gonna blow up our speaker, whatever. It's a click and drag, and my audio moves down or up, whichever one. Whatever I need it to do, I can make it do. Even if I have to re-change the actual audio song that I've built, remix stuff or whatever, I can do that right there in our programs. It's awesome. So yeah, that's that. If you have any other questions, leave it in the comments. I had to knock that out because you've been asking for weeks, and I wanted to make sure that I showed that to you. But anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. Hit subscribe. I'm just now tuning out, and you stay scary. Thank you guys very much.